Well guys, I've been approached by someone to cover an app that they're developing, and I couldn't really refuse because it could benefit us as Star Citizen players, but also a hell of a lot of other people if this gets the support that it deserves. And we're going to find out what it is after this. So welcome back to the channel, citizens, and what are we talking about in this one? It's something a little different than my usual. So the developer reached out to me and asked if I'll have a go of his app that he's created single-handedly with Star Citizen in mind. Some of you may have heard of it or even used it before, and it is called Gametouch Controller. So what is Gametouch Controller? Well, if you've seen me before, you may know that I did a video on GameGlass, which is an application that lets you use your phone or tablet as a control panel for games such as Star Citizen, other flight simulators, things like that. Well, Gametouch Controller is very similar to GameGlass in many ways, but which one would I choose and why? Well, we will find that out shortly, but for now, let's see what Gametouch Controller is all about. Right guys, so once you've downloaded the server, basically the desktop app for the Gametouch controller onto your PC, you'll have to get the app itself for your tablet or for your phone, whichever you're using. Once you've done that, there'll be a calibration that you have to do, and it will make your computer do some crazy stuff, open up your game controller, USB settings and things like that. But once it's done, it will close everything back down and you're good to go. So you will then click on the power button like that, and it will link straight to your desktop app, and you're in. So what you got on the main screen is you got away from keyboard, Star Citizen, gamepad and general. So if we go to Star Citizen, he's already got 6 things laid out for you. So you've got your flight, vehicles, mining, comms, FPS and turret. If we go into flight, you've got your basic stuff here. Now it all seems to work perfectly in game. If you haven't changed your bindings in the game, this should work straight out the box for you. So you've got your power triangle here, you've got your SCM for your speed, you've got your radar ping down here, which you can set it to go off automatically. These are your seconds down here, 5 to 10 seconds. So when you're flying along and you keep having to press that ping button, this will just do it for you, which is it's really cool actually. Obviously your lights, landing, scanning modes, gimbals, absolutely everything you need. The basics is all right here for you. When you press leave seat, it will leave the seat for you and it will take you to this page, which is your FPS one. And you can use your torch, you can heal, you can use your inventory, etc, etc. It all worked really well, which is a surprise to me, if I'm honest, because I thought GameGlass was good, but this seems to be just as good, if not better. And we'll discuss why it's better a little bit later on. So obviously you've got vehicles, your mining, and you got your slider here for your power. You've even got a comms box here. Now this will obviously let you chat locally and globally. It will also let you send messages. So you can obviously chat and you can save these messages and then just press the one button here and it will just fire that message off. Now that means you can obviously import emotes and stuff. When you type /sit or whatever, you can just click that and you'll just sit down. So that is a nice little touch as well. And you've even got turrets here, so you can recenter, turn the power on and off, targeting modes, and obviously the first person shooter that you've seen earlier. So you've got your inventory, your heals, holster, modify your weapons, put your torch on. And if you click flight ready on this one, it will take you straight back to the flight screen. So it's nice and easy and it's very intuitive to use. At the top here, you can toggle your chat on and off, you can toggle your mobi glass, and you can accept and decline your missions without having to fumble around looking for that stupid bracket button. So as it looks, it's easy to use, it's simplistic, but it is also configurable. So if I press configure at the top here, you can set the radar ping down here to joystick or key, which is tab for me, so I'm going to do that. And you can change all the buttons as you want. Another good thing on this is that on this main screen here, you can obviously set default profiles and you can save different profiles as well as setting all your joy bindings. But you've also got a button up the top right here that says palette. So if I click on palette, I can then change this to any colours I want. So I can set the box colour and set the font colours. So if I set the box colours to a steady orange and the font colours to a garish green, I can set that and off I go, and we're looking good. It is that easy to use. So I'm going to show you how it works in game, and I'll discuss a little bit more about this app. Right, so we're currently in game now, and it takes about 20 seconds for the app to load up. All you do is click that power button and boom, I was on, and I can already start doing what I want to do, turning lights on and off, landing gears, opening doors, all with a tap of the correct buttons on the app, and it all works as VTOL really freaking easily. You've got your fire modes, I can turn on gimbals, a whole load of stuff that I showed you earlier, and it all works really well. You've got your power triangles. It's excellent so far. Now, your radar ping that he's put on the app is really cool. So a lot of the times you've got to keep pinging for certain things. Well, you can set the timer. I'll set it for 4 seconds. I'll click the button once, and then every 4 seconds now it will just ping out a new ping for you. You don't have to worry about it, and it will do this until you set it back to 0, or you click the radar button again and it will stop pinging. That is excellente. Now if I press and just tap the leave seat button, it will hold it for me, it will get me out of the seat, and I'm in the first person mode. So if I change the camera here, there we go. So we've got things like heal, which obviously you can't do in Arena Commander. You've got your torch, you've got different fire modes you can use, you can wipe your visor, all the good stuff here. And if I went back to flight ready, once I got my seat, I could then crack on straight onto that. So we're going to leave the game now and look at the website, because there's a few things that I want to talk to you about this and how it came to be an app that he's created, and the benefits of having something like this over its probably main competitor, which is GameGlass. So before we get to the website that the developer has for this app, I'll go through a few questions that I asked him when we had a chat. Now, being a very small channel with a lot less than 1,000 subscribers, I never expected anyone to even ask me to look or review anything, so I'm kind of privileged to be given the opportunity. However, while the developer and I were chatting, I did say that I will not lie about the product, and if it's shit, I will tell people that it's shit. And his response was perfectly matched. He agreed that I should tell the truth, and it's all constructive for him going forward in the future. So that's a good attitude to have when creating a project like this out of basically pure passion, and hats off to the developer for that one. He does seem like a genuinely good guy and just wants this to work for all gamers like us that are looking for such a product. So here's the questions that I asked him and the responses that I received. So I asked him if this is a solo project or is there a team behind this. He said he's a solo developer. He's got a Discord for the project where he can gather feedback from the users and also get support from the longer term community members in there, which he says has really helped him out. Being in a full-time job with 2 kids, he doesn't always have the time to answer everyone straight away. So props to those guys in his Discord for helping the dev out on that one. I said, how long have you been developing the app? He said it's been about 12 months. There is a story to it and why it was created on the website as to why he started it in the first place, and he explained it to me, but we'll take a look at that together shortly on the website and we can have a look at it then. I then asked, is it in a finished state and is it still being worked on? So he said it's constantly being worked on. The most recent update included some new features and they came out the weekend. He went on to say that there is a manual on the website and the current updates haven't been applied there yet, but they will be when he gets the chance. I've got a feeling that the developer is very passionate about this. It is his baby after all, and I don't think he's going to rest on it until he's happy, which of course is great news for the users of the app. I asked about the price and will it rise as the popularity of the app hopefully grows. He says, I have no intention of raising the price. In the UK, by the way, it's on the Play Store for £2.30, which is ridiculously cheap in my own opinion. He says I created the app for myself to use, as I didn't like some features of the other apps that are similar. It was only when someone from the community asked me to make it more publicly available that I decided to load it onto the app stores. He went on to say that he isn't in this for the money, and the price is what it is forever. Buy it once and it's yours to do as you will. He said he'd rather have 3 people buy this for the reasonable £2.30 price point than up the price and maybe only get one person giving it a go that can actually afford to give it a go for that higher price. And fair play for that. I asked about the future and what's to come with the app. Is there going to be more customization, more integration for things? He said the back-end work is all done. Everything works as intended, but there's always room for improvement. I want to refine the whole thing. I want to update the UI and hopefully include things such as Photoshop profiles to make editing and stuff easier with shortcuts and the like. But the main focus has always been Star Citizen. He said, as an early backer, I wanted something like this to use, but didn't like what was available, which leads us up to the last question I asked, which was, what would you say are the advantages of this app over GameGlass? He said, well, first off, it's a one-off payment with unlimited profiles, which gives the user scope for the app to be used in all games or productivity applications. He said the server architecture is all local, so the app and desktop app run together through your own Wi-Fi. There's no outside interference and therefore no lag. He went on to tell me that a guy messaged him that he didn't even have Wi-Fi, and he talked him through making a network via USB, and it still worked, which I thought was pretty awesome. So because of the way this is set up, you can use analog controllers as well for certain interfaces, so you aren't tied down at all. And as a single developer, not a large company like some, aka GameGlass, the app does not require any data from the user. The developer stated that this was one of the main things he hated with the other applications of this type, is that they can collect your data whenever they want. So they collect your user data and they sell it on. Not being a huge fan of this himself, he's clearly gone down the road of zero data collection and privacy for the user first. So hats off for that one, good sir. It was actually a good chat, and he seems like a decent fella and just wants to help the community. So to that end, let's check out the website. So on the homepage it has links for you all to download the Windows app and obviously the other apps for your devices through the app stores. There's also a PayPal link here to help support the development, which he says wasn't actually his idea, but it was often requested by the community using the app, so he put it in on the website for that reason. He seems actually rather quite a humble guy, and I hope he gets a good following for this, because I truly believe he deserves it for the time and effort that he's put in. As we scroll down, there's a few YouTube videos and some streamers here that you can go and check out that have used this application and still do. News and FAQs and things like that are down here. And you've also got the backstory, which I was on about earlier. So the backstory is, it says approximately 18 months ago, I was looking for touchscreen spherical software like this to help with Star Citizen controls while maintaining the immersion. I only found one product that came remotely close, and you can guess which one that is. After investigating the monetization and the network architecture for the aforementioned product, I made a comment on a forum about how I felt they were, in my opinion, a lot of poor design choices from a usability, responsiveness and privacy perspective. I received a typical forum discussion response to the effect of, well, you go make one if you think you can do better, or stop complaining. So, unlike most of us, he did. So he spent a year learning to program a cross-platform language, engaged with the community, and as a sole developer created what you see here, which is the Gametouch controller. By a gamer, for gamers. This project was initially just going to be for me to use, but the community encouraged me to sell it to them. You got a downloads tab at the top here, which should take you to your recent builds and the stuff that we just talked about. And there's also the manual. So if you go to the manual, there's a Star Citizen section here. So if this is what you're getting it for, then you'll find everything you need to get it working with Star Citizen. It is quite in-depth. It does tell you exactly what you need to do. If I can get it working, then you should have no problems whatsoever. There is a feedback and request section as well here, which you can obviously report bugs, ask any questions, drop any comments in, feature requests, etc, etc. And he's had quite a lot of feedback and quite a lot of requests on this, and he does try and get in contact with them all the time. So I've used this for a few hours already, and it's, for me personally, it's working spot on. I'm looking forward to having more of a play and get get a bit more deeper into this and see what I can come up with. I use DaVinci Resolve for my editing, so I'm going to see if I can maybe make something up for that and see if I can get that working as well. And I'd like to revisit this again once I've got my my head in this, and hopefully I can jump back into this, have another look and put out another video. But let me know if you've used this in the comments, or if you've been looking for something like this but don't want to pay the subscription fees that other ones have. And I'll have all the links for Gametouch controller in the comments below. Please go and check it out. It's £2.30. If you're looking for something like this, £2.30 all in. It ain't breaking the bank. So go have a look first, see what you think, read some of the reviews, get some ideas from the community, and then give it a go. And let me know what you think about it in the comments. And I will catch you guys in the next one.